For years, Iran believed it was protected by an impenetrable web of alliances known as the Axis of Resistance, sending a clear message to the world: attack Iran, and you attack everyone. But when the United States and Israel launched coordinated strikes on February 28, 2026, Iran learned a harsh geopolitical truth: it was fighting alone. Here is why Tehran's most crucial allies chose to stand back. First, the superpowers, Russia and China. Russia and Iran had recently signed a comprehensive strategic partnership and conducted joint military drills. Yet, when the bombs fell, Moscow only offered public condemnation and limited intelligence on American ships. Why? Russia's military is already overstretched by the grueling war in Ukraine. More cynically, Russia profits when the US is bogged down in the Middle East, standing to gain up to $151 billion in extra energy revenues as the conflict causes oil prices to surge. Moscow prefers to play both sides rather than risk a second high-intensity war. China, which buys over 80% of Iran's exported oil, also withheld military support. Beijing strictly avoids formal military alliances and prioritizes its own economic stability. With US President Donald Trump scheduled to visit in April 2026, China desperately wants to avoid sparking a trade war. Like Russia, China benefits immensely from watching the US military divert its forces and focus away from the Indo-Pacific. But what about Iran's regional proxies? The reality is that Iran's forward defense chain was methodically disassembled before the 2026 war even began. Hamas was catastrophically weakened by the devastation in Gaza and explicitly stated it could not open another front. Hezbollah, once the crown jewel of the Axis, fired rockets in solidarity, but is now a shadow of its former self. It has been severely degraded by Israeli strikes and even had its military activities banned by the Lebanese government. The Houthis in Yemen, despite their fierce rhetoric, waited weeks before firing merely symbolic, interceptable missiles. Because they now run a state apparatus with ministries and ports, they chose self-preservation over risking their survival for Tehran. Iraqi militias launched drones, but had their operational capacity systematically reduced by US and Israeli counterstrikes. Furthermore, Syria, once a crucial land bridge for Iran, was already lost after Bashar al-Assad fell from power in 2024. In the end, Iran made a catastrophic miscalculation. It confused economic dependency and shared anti-Americanism with genuine mutual military commitment. When the moment of truth arrived, every single ally looked at the costs of standing with Tehran, compared it to the costs of standing aside, and chose themselves. And that's the bigger picture here. The US strikes on Iran on February 28th didn't just change a military situation. They exposed something deeper: who Iran can actually count on when it matters. This is Early Edition, where we break down global events through a global lens, so you stay informed, not just updated. Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Iran will rebuild its alliances? Or has this conflict permanently weakened its position in the region? Drop your take in the comments below. If this analysis was useful, hit the like button and subscribe. We cover these stories before they become headlines. I'll see you in the next edition.